It's nice that several people from the Felixstowe Somnambulists Institution are here tonight. I would expect no different that that's a good place for them to be. I think possibly what we're planning to do is I'm going to talk for an hour or so, and then we'll have a break for 20 minutes, and I'll do the final hour and a half after that. No, in all honesty, hopefully, roughly an hour. That's if I don't get sidetracked, which I never do, as you know. So it's lovely to be here. My wife's already tapping her watch saying, come on, get on with it. Anyway, tonight is the official opening of our Heritage Weekend. And weekend includes Fridays now, and we've already had some events today which have gone exceedingly well, so let's hope that continues. And I'll ask, we're delighted that the Mayor is here today, and I will ask Graham Newman, our Mayor, to just do a sort of an official opening. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Phil. Welcome to our third Heritage Weekend in Felixstowe. You know, we are so lucky in this town because wherever you go, whenever you just don't look at the thing immediately in front of you, but something just behind, there's something that links in with this town's history and its culture. And there's 53 events in here this weekend, and something particularly dear to my heart, and I'm going to make a plug for it, I'm sorry to say, Phil, I've always been a huge pirate radio fan. I was there right on the first day. I can remember sitting on the beach in Deal in Kent, listening to Simon D saying his very first words on Radio Caroline. And of course, it was actually off the coast here. It later moved off down to Walton and other things happened, but when it first started, it was actually at Felixstowe. There's a great exhibition to see down at the Fish and Chip restaurant. And I think also another location they are,
yes,
if I remember rightly, yeah.
Just next to the
in Cotman
Fludgers.
Hall.
Yeah, next to the Fludgers.
Next to the Fludgers. So
Mrs. Simpson's tea room.
If you've got interest in that sort of thing, there's a lot of memorabilia there. It's actually been on the Radio Caroline website now for quite a few weeks, so you will find all sorts of aficionados down there, including even some people who were on the ships at the time, who are remarkably still alive after that experience, which I think is pretty good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is a wonderful opportunity to see behind closed doors, if you like, in Felixstowe over this weekend. Huge opportunities, lots of interest. I think the way the programme is put together is absolutely immaculate. It's something which you can go around and show to people with pride. It's not some sort of tatty old bit of printing that I've done, but a real decent piece of artwork, and it's got everything in it. It's a real guide to things you can see around the town. So that in itself is quite a keepsake, I think. And I think also we owe a huge debt to people like Phil, Mike Nimney, and all the team who put this Heritage Day together each year. That says the third one. And I found each one increasingly interested, he said with his teeth falling out. And I'm sure you're going to find that this year. So thank you very much for all the work that you've done. I'm sure we're going to enjoy what we're just about to hear. And, come out tomorrow and Sunday. There's a super bus. In fact, I've just seen this bus on a BBC trailer. I don't know whether you've seen that. Something to do with pensions, I think. I think it's the self-same bus. And even Ermintrude is an even older bus that's going to be here on Sunday. So for us bus aficionados, I'm really bad, aren't I? Trains, buses, and pirate radio. That's my bad. Yeah. Enjoy.
Yes, thank you very much, Graham, for the introduction and opening the session, and thank you for opening the weekend. Yeah, 53 things, or there were at 12 o'clock today. We've already had 39 people on a walk. We've had a very large number of people in the hub in Walton. We've had nearly 50 people down at the Alex, enjoying people telling their stories of working there and things that have gone on there, being served with coffee and cake, all thrown in for absolutely nothing. What a wonderful time. And here we are. Well, there we are. You have to look along and read and what have you. And tomorrow, again, a whole lot of things to do from 9:30 in the morning through till about 8:30 tomorrow night. So plenty to do. So if you suffer from sleep or lack of sleep, then do come along to some of the things like tonight and you can have a doze. Anyway, talking about Felixstowe, as I occasionally do, what do I need to, how can I title it? So I've called it The Grandeur That Is Felixstowe.
Welcome to Walton Heritage Hub. This is the second year we've done this. It's getting bigger and better every year. You come into the hub and you find the celebration we have of young Sam Wall, who was the historian for this area way back in the sort of turn of the century. And it's to him we owe a great debt of thanks because of the history that he has recorded. And from him, it's things about Walton Castle and the like that we have on display today. So if I give you a quick little run around, is that all right? Can you keep with this? So basically what we have on the back wall, you are aware that Walton used to have a Lloyd's Bank, and that bank was designed by Munro Courtney, who is the architect at the top of the doors there. And fundamentally what we've done is collected a number of buildings that he did here within Walton, but probably his most significant one was the Bartlett Convalescent Home, which he designed and they built in 1924. Going on from there, we come to an area that was found when they were digging some footings for prefabs in 1947, and they came across a beaker settlement in which a young girl, ashes or bones were kept in a beaker pot. So Chepstow Row has the oldest recorded residence in our parish. Coming around swiftly, where these four folk are currently, that is a display on Walton Castle. It's very disturbing, really, that a number of people in our community don't even know that we had a castle, let alone that it was Roman, let alone that it was one of the very significant ones in the Saxon shore back in the 3rd century. Coming on to Martello Tower P, primarily, but not exclusively, there's a lot of history there about the Martello Tower, and those who may be interested in Martellos and things fortification, we want ideas from the community at large as to how Martello Tower P could be utilised, because it is the only publicly owned Martello in Suffolk. So we really should get it back into public use, and we've got Coast Watch here today who normally sit on top of it, and a lot of information of what they do to help and safeguard our swimmers and sailors is available here today, and will probably be back in the tower next year. Coming on from Martello P, you've got the Trimley Railway Station, which folks have been working now for, I believe, 3 or 4 years to try to get saved, repaired, and again back in the community. So that's a key aspect we want to do. We've got a bit on the Snyder Trophy, we've got a bit on RAF Felixstowe, the better explanation on the radar station at Bordsea is at Bordsea itself, which will be open both on the Saturday and the Sunday. Now, right ahead of you, you've got the co-op not sparing a penny, coming in to show old packaging, the history of the co-op here in Walton, which was very strong, and I'm hoping that you've got that lovely bit that shows Walton was one of the first communities to establish its own co-op, because Walton has always been a very cooperative and encouraging parish to live within. On the side, we have the Camera Club, we have the Felixstowe Society, we have the Felixstowe Family Society, and there's a lot of information there if you want to trace your family or even the place generally. And on the back, we've got the boys in blue Coast Watch.
We're here today from the East of England Co-op because the Cooperative Society has quite a history with the town. One of the societies formed in 1869 was the Walton Cooperative Society, so obviously we've been part of the community for a very, very long time. And we're just here today with some of our memorabilia and some of the things as well that people might remember from way back with the local cooperative movement. So it's really good to get the members along and just, you know, get them involved, sort of stir some memories and really sort of show them that the movement has been here for quite some time.
Yeah, I think the important point there is we have been in Walton for 145 years, and it's all about bringing some of those memories back to the local people, and of course encouraging others, new members along, so that we'll be here in another 145 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously the weather wants to unveil it for us, but anyway, thank you so much for being here to another one that I think this is the 14th plaque unveiled by the Felixstowe Society on local dignitaries, and I think it's rather good that we can be here in Walton, the first one in Walton, and it should be for Sammy Wall, who was a resident here, who lived here, who worked here, but also was a wonderful historian. And a lovely, lovely man, had a real character about him. Everybody speaks so well of him, so that's, you know, a lovely tribute to him. So without any more to do, can I ask Felixstowe's foremost historian, David Tolliday, to come and do the duties and unveil. So hopefully you can David.
Thank you, Phil. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 2 or 3 words about Sammy Wall before my full message.
It will blow away.
And firstly was that as a today historian, how lucky we are that we can go to Ipswich and there is now a flourishing record office, which there was in Sammy's day, but very small, with hundreds of thousands of references in it, and we don't have to leave home. We can turn on the internal machine and pull up things on the internet, to which there are millions of references, and certainly hundreds of thousands about Felixstowe, which
or even
Wall
Walton
didn't have in his day. And the thing that I'm always conscious of about him, that I'm looking at some of his work and you think, well, where did that come from, Sammy? Sammy Wall was a non-conformist, and he lived in the days when over the road at Walton Church they didn't want non-conformists to have access to their parish records, and they didn't. And so everything he did, and very thoroughly, he had to do longhand, and to find the source and take it on from there, which is quite considerable.
and there it is.
There it is. The good Lord,
Yes.
which I now do. And as I say, great pleasure to unveil this park to a man who still says who really deserves to have such a thing in his home. Thank you.
Thank you.
We really must thank Susan's Flowers for putting up with us popping in and seeing it was alright, and also allowing us to put the plaque up, and it's a wonderful shop, and if you ever want any flowers,
This is the place to come.
good morning, whenever you happen to be viewing this. My name's Chris Dannett. I own the Flashback 67 exhibition. We bought this in 2005 and we've added quite a lot of memorabilia to it over those last few years. Notably because of the 50th anniversary this year of Radio Caroline and the start of pirate radio, we decided rather rashly to ask people if they wanted us to bring the exhibition and show it at various events. We've done 12 events, starting with Radio Caroline's birthday bash in Rochester in March. We've done 11 more since that one, and at this moment in time we're now here in Felixstowe celebrating the festival, the Heritage Weekend. And the weather's nice outside. We've got a nice gang of people come to see the exhibition, and I've just been handed a microphone. I'd like you to have a look at this, because this microphone was featured on a radio station called Radio Tower back in 1965, and a chap who was a DJ in that picture on there that you can see, this was the microphone that he used back in 1965 on one of those forts out in the estuary. So that's quite nice, and that'll be going straight in that case which we've got over here. We've got exhibition cases all round with some memorabilia in, and we're going to put that one straight into the case. So that's really it. So if I don't know when this is actually going out, if it's being celebrated after the event, but if you do manage to come down and see us this weekend, we'd love to see you. If you're watching this after the weekend, then it's great to have been here.
This is a 1949 Bedford OB, belonged to Mullies with Ixworth. The interesting part really to think about this is that the actual chassis was built in Luton in Bedfordshire, hence the name Bedford, and the body was made in North London at Hendon by Jupil, sorry about that. Been doing this all morning, believe it or not. For Jupils, and so the chassis had to go down the A6, or the driver sitting up there in the open before the body was dropped on top and away. But it's been with me, it went with Mullies, it's been with Mullies most of its life. It wandered with a couple who went to Ipswich Coach Company when Mully retired, and then was rescued by the Ipswich Museum. Anything else you want to know? And the only other thing I can tell you about the chap who used to own it, if you like, Mr. Mully. He was a light character. Mr. Mully lived at Exworth. Tallest, thin chap, all ruffled hair all over the show. Odd shoes, odd socks. He went down to Hendon one day to the Jupil Body Works to buy 2 coaches. He was kicked out as a beggar. And he told the chap who kicked him out, he said, "You won't have a job at the end of the day." Do you know, I didn't have a job at the end of the day. He sacked him, and he went back there and bought 2 coaches, and that's the sort of bloke he was. He also had a bike, same colours as the coaches, and he used to keep it at the boot of his coach. And when he went out, somewhere like Yarmouth, and park the coach up in the coach park, he'll get the bike out and ride downtown on it. That's the sort of bloke he was.